Well, what's up everybody? And we are today on my map, Dodson Logging. This just got released, let's see when this video airs. Let's see, today is Tuesday, so it'll air tomorrow, so it would have been released Monday night. So if you haven't got it yet, check the video description below. I'll have another link there for downloading the map if you'd like to. But you can also look at the preview video I did Monday night. I posted it, I think Monday night around 5 o'clock or so. I posted that video. But anyway, we're getting started here. We are on landing number 4. And if you look at the overall map, we're kind of just to the south of that little small swampy area that's off the highway, and kind of south east of the Sawmill. And guess what we're gonna do? Well, if I can get the map to go away. Let me get back over here. Let's see, where is it at? There we go. Okay, so I've got the chipper thing here all ready to go. I got the FDR crane loader so we can offload the logs all at one time into the wood chipper. That wood chipper holds a good bit of logs, so we'll definitely need several loads of logs to get going. Well, probably 1 or 2 loads will fill it up, but you know what I'm talking about. We'll need a bunch of logs. And then I got this Kenworth cab over truck. I don't normally run the cab overs, but I thought it'd be kind of cool just to do something a little different. Just for all I'm going to use this for is filling up this trailer here at the wood chipper and taking it over here to the big wood chip storage area. And y'all know, if you watch Pacific Inlet, I like load counts and stuff like that. So we're going to see how many, probably hundreds of thousands of liters it takes to fill up this wood chip area. And so I mean, it's going to take a good while, I imagine. Oh, can't jump up there anymore. And so if you didn't watch the preview video, I've got a little gravel area right here where you can back up to, and you can tip off the back end. And with that particular trailer that I've got over there on the cab over, it's a 70,000 liter trailer, and it all should dump over, you know, without this trailer stopping. Because sometimes if you back up to an area and you just don't move and your trailer's unloading, sometimes the tipper will stop tipping because it's, you know, just can't, there's nowhere else to put the chips. So we got that ready to go. So let's get back over here, and I was gonna get this tree that had fallen into the landing area cleaned up. I just bought this tractor. I've got another tipper that I'm gonna use this tractor to dump into. But yeah, I enjoyed the big wood chip area at Ridgecrest. The only problem with that was they didn't do the tip collision right, and so whenever they set up the map, they didn't paint all the areas, or didn't, I guess I should say, unpaint all the areas where tips can occur, and so you ended up with this area that the wood chips just wouldn't go into, so I couldn't fill it all up. That kind of sucked. Alright, let's check our length here. Yeah, we don't want 5 meters. Let's go, let's see, 15's the most. Well, I guess we'll do 15. I was going to go something a little bit smaller for the wood chip storage area, but I think it'll handle the 15s no problem. So we'll just go with that. And these logs here, those tops probably aren't but about 7 or 8 meters, so we'll just chip those up and throw them in the trailer. Now, on those bigger pines that I've got on the other side of the map over there, those should cut off two 15-meter ones, no problem. I think those are, oh, maybe 45-meter trees or something. They're big. I can't remember now what exactly they are. This may be a big one here. It looks, oh, okay, I guess that's the same. Just looked a little bigger. Yeah, I don't think I put any of those pine stage 5s over here on this side of the map. I think they're all on the north side of the highway. Yeah, I hope everything works out okay with this map. That's my first one to do. And basically, well, I kind of did it the wrong way. Really, what you should do is start from scratch with a blank starter map and build your terrain, then add your trees and your detail and stuff. That's not exactly how I did it. I had a problem for some reason getting the trees to show up. So I took a blank starter map, and then I took the map that came with the game, Goldcrest Valley, and I exported the trees with files to my folder, and then I added the trees. They were there in Giant's editor, but whenever I went to play the game, you know, play the map in game, the trees weren't there. Okay, I was like, well, that's weird. I went back to Giants and checked, and yeah, the trees are there. So I don't know what was going on. So finally I just took another map and got permission from the map curator to basically use the map. And, you know, I just kind of left the trees in there, rearranged them, and redid the terrain, and then added in all my roads and details and stuff. So I don't know what was going on. I'm gonna have to do some more testing on that and see. I think it could have been part of the problem. Could have been, I think I downloaded a program that for some reason converted all DDS files to PNG or something. I don't remember, but it was something weird. So it took me a good bit longer than it probably should have to make this map, because I had to adjust the terrain, move all the trees, because there was thousands of floating trees, because I had to adjust the terrain. So I had to bring all the trees down one by one. There really was no way to, I mean, I guess I could have, you know, put them all in a transform group and then moved them all at once, but the problem with that is, you know, a lot of this map is pretty flat, and the map that I was using had a good many hills, and so, you know, some trees were a little higher than others, so it really wouldn't have done much good to create a transform group and move them all at once anyway, because they would have all been at different heights. So I spent no telling how many hours pulling trees out of the air down to the ground. Oh gosh. Deleted a bunch of trees and just copied a bunch, because the previous map had a bunch of those dead trees, and I don't like those things, so I was trying to put as many live trees in here, because really, you know, you don't see that many dead trees unless You know, it's a really old forest, or some kind of bug activity where the trees are dying off, or if for some reason an area just suddenly becomes flooded or something over time, the pine trees will die off and other trees will take over. You just don't normally see a bunch of dead trees around. You know, sometimes, but not as many as what was on this map originally. Alright, well, we just about got our first load of wood chips ready. This might get it right here. Nope, not quite. Oh well, we were close. And let's see, that's not quite a load yet, so let's go get some more trees, get it up. So I just kind of took off with the fellow buncher, and you can see kind of on the mini map there where I'm headed. Kind of just took off at a right angle to the landing, and that little green dot between the number 4 and the little pasture area down there, that's my fellow buncher. So I just kind of went off this way and hung a left, and hung another left. Well, I was trying to move those trees off away from that stump and not getting other trees stuck on it. Yeah, look at that, we're up to 361. I haven't really checked it lately. That's up quite a bit from the last time I looked. I think it was 340 something. So I do appreciate all the new subscribers. And again, we're trying to reach 1,000 so I can get my videos monetized again due to YouTube's latest policies. Changed up the monetization deal. You got to have 1,000 subscribers and so many watch hours, I think, either per month or per year or something. I don't remember what it is. But the last time I looked, I had the watch hours, just don't have the subscribers. And while I'm talking about that, I want to also mention I do have a Patreon page, so if you'd like to contribute monthly and have your name listed at the end of the video as a Patreon subscriber and supporter of the channel, then head on over there. The link's in the video description below. And I also do have a if you would like to make just a one-time payment, I've got a paypal.me account set up so you can drop me a few dollars or whatever if you like this videos and you like the content and want to help out some. So there's a couple different ways there you can help out. Well, actually, 3 different ways. Just about messed up. barely got under there. And you know what I may do too, I just was kind of thinking about this last night. I just released this map, and I've got a lot of other ideas for maps. Would be some of them really cool. I think that at least one or two, well, let's see, at least one of them I don't think has been done yet for Farming Simulator 17, and that's probably the one I'm going to work on next. So what I may do is kind of a Patreon beta test kind of thing where, you know, I'm working on a new map, and if you're subscribed to me on Patreon, I may do some sort of a open beta testing or something, you know, or maybe have a beta version of the map available where you can download it and play it before it comes out, kind of things. Just a little perk of being a Patreon member. So if you're interested in something like that, and that'd only be $5 a month. I'm not going to charge 10 or 15, you know, to have early access to a map. And at least right now, I don't think I'm making the highest quality maps that are possible. So no sense in paying an exorbitant amount of money, you know, just to play a subpar map. But anyway, that's something we could do. And what I had envisioned over on Patreon is once I reach, oh, I don't know, I think it was 10 patrons, of doing something like monthly giveaways, you know, because you guys is watching the videos and subscribing and all that stuff, commenting and all that. That's what makes the community and the channel grow and all that. So I figured I'd give back to you guys. Actually watch the videos and have watched for quite a while and actually support the channel. So check that out over on Patreon, and if you so choose, you can hit that subscribe, I guess, over there. And once we reach that goal of, I think it's 10 Patreons, we'll start doing monthly giveaways, and it'll be some nice stuff. It'll be copies of the game, dual joysticks, gosh, who knows, maybe even a video monitor or something nice. Just have to see kind of how everything goes. Oh, yeah, messed that up. Messed that up pretty good. Man, that's my biggest pet peeve of the game, I think, is the physics of the trees. Because I mean, that would have to be some awfully hard wood for it to not have any flex. But you know, I know it's a game, and they can't really simulate real life physics and stuff exactly. They can get it close, but get all that back in shape. Yeah, the tip of the tree got caught on something back there, and it kind of messed up my processor. Yeah, I tell you, a lot of work went into this map, not to mention just the fact that I had to take somebody else's map and redo the whole terrain and move trees to the ground and all that stuff. There was a lot of testing, a lot of figuring things out. You know, like I said, it's my first map to make, and I didn't really know what I was doing exactly when I started. I had an idea, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. I hand placed all the roads, all those bumpy forest roads that lead to a couple of the well, about 3 of the landings. Those roads, I had to get the mud, figured out how to add mud. There's some forest plants that that kind of cut over area that's just past the creek when you're headed out of town. Just past the creek on the right, there's a couple of spots with a bunch of like little small woody plants and stuff on the ground. I had to get that added in and figured out how that worked. That took a minute. Let's see what else. Oh, the lights at the sawmill, I've got them set now to where they come on at night. I couldn't quite get that figured out. I mean, I knew how to do it. For some reason, only one of the lights was working. And so finally I had the brainstorm and the idea. I thought, well, I'll just take that one and delete the others, the one that's working, and copy it. And for some reason that worked. So I don't know. And the reason I say for some reason it worked is you would think that if you copy paste it should work, but the way the Giants editor is, each little component, I guess you could say, because think of it kind of like a file system. Like you've got Windows Explorer, you've got a folder called, I don't know, we'll just call it trees, and then under that you've got, or no, I guess a better way to do it is just, we'll just call it a light pole. So you got a folder called light pole, and inside that folder you've got another file called, we'll call it the pole itself. So you've got the pole, and then you've got the light housing, you've got the light that comes out, you've got just lots of little pieces. And so I figured out that to make it work you have to have the little, we'll call it subfolder, the little subfolder in there called light. You have to grab the file ID off of it. So each little piece has a file ID. Like it might be number 1234, you know. Okay, so that's one file ID for one component or one light. And then you have to go into the XML. I think it's XML. It could be the map i3de, or is it i3d, whatever it is. And you have to tell it, you know, I want this light to come on at night. And so you have to grab the file ID. Well, you would think that as long as you had the right file ID and for the right little component, that it should, you know, it should work. It should come on at night. Well, it didn't for some reason. So I ended up having to delete all those that didn't work and just grab the one that did, and copy paste, and make sure that all those were corrected. So it's just a lot of scripting, a lot of XML work, a lot of testing and stuff. I mean, it's just a ton of stuff. And then when I finally got down to the phase where, okay, the map's just about done. Oops, I didn't mean to turn it off. I had to go in and make sure that the pallet stuff worked, the chip stuff worked, or the you know, the chip factory or whatever you call it. And then I had to make sure all the terrain was correct. There was some spots where the roads, you know, didn't quite meet the terrain, so I had to go adjust the terrain. There was floating trees here and there. I think I got most of those. I don't think you'll find very many floating trees, maybe some. But oh, just lots and lots of work. But it should be easier the next time because I kind of know what I'm doing now. And like I said, I'm going to try to start with a starter map, a blank one, just a flat blank map. I've got one actually that has all the, you know, like I was talking about, the mud and the forest trees and all that, or the forest plants. I've actually got a map that has all that in there already, so I don't have to worry about adding it. That'd be nice. Yeah, and you can kind of see right there where I messed up on the yellow and white lines. I got them on the wrong side. What happened was I copy-pasted the curves from the other side of the road. I worked on that other side first, and then came over here and worked on this one. And I just didn't pay attention to the... So I could have just flipped it around. Well, no, see, I guess, no, I couldn't flip that one around, but I would have had to grab a different curve, like instead of a curve left, I should have grabbed a curve right. But anyway, we'll just say that the highway department paint operator was drunk when he was painting the roads, painting the lines. Alright, so making the turn into the sawmill for the first time with our first load of wood chips. And I'll demonstrate how this little dump area works. Oops. Took that turn a bit too sharp. We need to get our chipper going over there too. As soon as I get done with this, I'm going to go back to our landing and get that log truck loaded up with that. We got at least one load of logs there, so we'll get him back down here and offloaded. Alright, well, I didn't exactly get square. Let's try to square it up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to hit Control I. You see it should go ahead and tip on out 100%. And we'll have a little bit of wood chips left there on the edge, but that'll be alright. We'll try to push them off with the dozer or get them with the front end loader. Alright, cool. Well, there's the first one in. So that's 70,000 liters. Yeah, and this sign right here, I did about everything I could to make that sign stand up. The ground's flat. I kept lowering the sign into the ground, lower and lower, thinking maybe if I put it a little bit lower it would help stand it up, but whatever I did, it just didn't work. We'll just say somebody knocked it over. Some kids or something. Quite a bit of wood chips still left in that chipper. It's crazy how much that thing will hold. It's kind of unrealistic, but yeah, it's a game, I guess. What can you expect? Alright, let's get this log truck over here and see if we can't get him loaded up and down to the wood chipper. Now this is a cool truck. If you haven't seen this one, this is Kenworth truck. This is by Serious Mods, and I believe this is the one by Serious Mods. I can tell you right quick if we look at the tires. You can always tell by the tires. He put some super detail into these things. Yes, definitely a Serious Mods truck there, and it's got a good sound to it too. See what we can do with this today. See if it's going to be a good day or a bad day. Sometimes you never know with loading logs. Main thing I'd tell you is just be fairly careful with what you're doing, and don't get in too big of a hurry. Should be okay. I need to move that back a bit. Don't want them getting too close to the cab. Won't be able to make a turn. But the main thing I can also say is make sure you keep your pile pretty neat. If you got logs scattered everywhere and they're not butted up together good, it'll cause you a lot of problems. And then you also want to try to keep your log pile on the trailer itself pretty neat. It'll also save you a lot of headache. So like that one right there, I'm not sure what's going on. I guess it's just got kind of sideways in there. Well, I think all these logs here is going to make our first load. So, be a pretty good little load, but we're not going too terribly far. Yep, I believe that's just about right. A little bit high, and I got, ooh, that's, well, like I said, we're not going far, maybe it'll be alright. Actually got it over the cab there. Yeah, this Kenworth truck's pretty nice, in my opinion though. It's just a tad bit underpowered. But we got a pretty good load here, so this is sort of realistic, I guess. I think if just a little day cab truck like this had a pretty good load of logs, probably would struggle too. I guess it doesn't matter if it's a day cab or not. This isn't a super powerful engine. I like that the mirrors work. Can't see much out of that one, but But for some reason this truck, it only does 42 miles an hour. If you look at the little cruise control thing down there, it says 77, but that's not correct at all. I think the most I've got this truck up to is 42, which I'm probably going to be adjusting that. I don't like that. I'd like to go a little bit faster and maybe at least get up to 55, 60. Yeah, we got us a load here. Too big of a load almost. Yeah, I've got it floored and had it floored since we left back there, and it's now only up to 20. So we're only at half speed. Quite a bit of load. Of course, this trailer is awfully heavy too. FDR made this trailer really heavy. I guess it's to help the logs not want to jump around or, you know, tip over. Of course, it will do that. This trailer is awfully high. It sits up high, so easy to tip. And I'll show you just a couple of things before we wrap up the video. We're going to get these logs offloaded and get the chipper going. But I guess the first thing I can talk about when we're headed this way is this crane right here. And the sell point is in, you can see some little yellow markers in there, and that's where the sell point is, and it's fairly low to the ground, so I don't even think we'd hit it. You know, we wouldn't hit it with this truck or this trailer. And let's see, how do I want to do this? Well, I'm actually backwards, but that'll be alright. So with the crane, you do actually have to offload them with, I guess, either the crane. If you don't like that, you can use another kind of loader or something, but I didn't really leave a spot for it. I guess you can put it in between those two posts right there. But you have to drop those on the ground for sure, because there's no way to drive over that unless you've got a really low trailer. And let's see. Yep, gotta fix that. There we go. And the reason I went with this crane loader is because I can grab this whole thing at one time. And we'll just dump this whole thing in here. I'm probably going to have to move this crane loader at some point. Uh-oh. Well, we actually filled it up. Wow. I didn't think that was possible. Let's see. How do I need to do this? I guess I just need to move it back some. I'll kind of move it about. Let's see. I guess. Yeah, that ought to work right there. And I can swing them over and drop them in there. Alright, so that's going, and I think I've got it. Well, let's see, I don't think I did set it already for automatic filling. Let me go check that. You can set it for automatic discharging or manual. I think I've still got it for manual. Yep, see it says actual settings, manual charging. So you just hit R on the keyboard to fix that. Now all the wood chips should be filling up into there. Yep, getting some in there. Okay, so let's continue on around the sawmill area. So in case you didn't watch the preview, this is a pallet lumber sawmill right here to our left. And so to get it started, you just put in some wood chips in that little bunker right there. And then on the other side over here, you drop off your logs in that yellow hashed area. Is where you drop your logs in there. And your wood chips come out at the end in that bunker right there. Now over here, this little spot right here, I've got the it's a log sell point, and it's up fairly high, so it should get all any kind of trailer you have, it should automatically sell your logs. And then over here you can sell your wood chips and your pallets at this little spot right there. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get my truck kind of parked over here near the entrance. We'll be ready to get him back to the landing. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop in the dozer and get those wood chips out of the way, because it won't be long we'll be needing to drop off some more wood chips. And I'm probably going to use this output here to continually feed the sawmill, so I don't have to worry about grabbing them from over here and disrupting our count. Okay. So let's hop in this big bad boy. This D11T dozer by Wood Meadow Farms. This is a nice one. I like this mod. Trying to get some stuff going while I'm working on this. So I guess what we'll do is we'll kind of just aim for that back left corner to start with, and kind of work towards that corner, since we're kind of having to push them that way anyway. me hop off and show you something. I tried my best to, because the way this works is you have to tell the map when you're editing it in Giant's Editor where you want the wood chips to be able to dump to, I guess is a good way to put it. So you have to paint it on there, and so my map is not exactly north-south. See if I can get, or east-west. So you can see how this sawmill area is kind of at an angle to perpendicular or horizontal. So there's no really good way to do that. I try to get as close as I could. But so you'll probably see some of these wood chips in some spots around this wood chip area. They'll actually go on the other side of the wall, and it's not a collision issue, or the wood chips aren't going underneath the wall and then over to the other side. It's just the wood chips themselves have no collision, so they go right through the wall. And since the area over there may allow wood chips to be dumped there, they just kind of fall through and over on the other side. But I tried to get it as close as I could. So anyway, just be aware of that if you're checking out the map, doing some wood chipping, and you're like, hey, the wood chips are on the other side of the wall. Well, not much I can do about it. About the only other thing I could have done was either turn the wood chip area a bit, which would have kind of looked funny, or I could have, I guess, made it to where partially inside the wood chip storage area that the wood chips would not be able to dump to, which may be the case right here in this corner. Kind of see they're falling off before it gets to the actual wall, which, yeah, I guess that's all right. There's no real good way of making it perfect. That's a good shot right there. Let me get that as a screenshot. I really like this dozer. It's nice. It's real detailed. Just a super nice mod. And let's see. Yeah, you can see they're kind of spilling through right there. And it's nothing, like I said, it's nothing with the wall. It's just the wood chips themselves have no collision, so they go right through the wall. Won't be too bad. All right, well, we got our first 70,000 units of, or liters of wood chips in here in this storage area. And if that's only 70,000, just think about how many more we got to go. There's likely to be hundreds of thousands, maybe even 1 million or more liters of wood chips in this area. I can't wait to see how many there is. And we're just going to keep adding wood chips until we get to the point to where, imagine if this wall continued on down this way around to where it meets up with this one. We'll try to just fill it on up until we can't tip any more in here. And you know, we may just reach a point too where we're going to be like, okay, well, this is probably full, and then we'll see what we got. But so I'm hoping that these logs right here will continue to, I may have to pick them back up and set them down again, but because it would seem to me that if it holds 284, 370, it should probably hold like 285 or something. So I don't know. Well, I may have to play around with that a bit. And we're continuing to just dump them in there. So I don't know how many. 67. And this thing is a little slow. I mean, you would imagine that if it's already got the logs chipped up, that would just go ahead and process them through. But this thing's pretty slow. Anyway, so probably next time what we'll do is, of course, continue on with filling up the wood chip area and feeding the chipper. But probably what I'm going to end up doing is getting this pallet lumber thing started. We'll put some wood chips in there and get us some logs on the other side, get that going. I'd like to have this whole conveyor belt filled up with pallets of lumber. It'd be kind of cool. Alright, well, I think I'm just gonna, let's see, probably go ahead and get a few more logs skidded up. Oops, not with that. And then next time, well, like I said, we'll work on some more wood chips and everything. So, hope you've enjoyed this video, and this is the first video in a hopefully long series of videos on my new map, Dodson Logging. And if you like the map, you can download it in the description below. Check it out for yourself. Unfortunately, PC only. I wouldn't really even know where to begin to try to make it to where it could be on console. So unfortunately, you console guys get left out a lot, but that's not due to us. It's Giants. They have so much strict things that has to be in place for it to be on console, and a lot of these, like the wood chipper, the pallet sawmill, and there may be one other thing I just can't remember. That they use like third-party scripts and stuff, and a lot of these mods do also. And Giants doesn't allow that on consoles, so limitation with the software, and I'm sure Microsoft and whatever. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get a few more of these logs skidded up, and we will catch you next time then. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.